Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Sephora haul. I know you guys love these. I love these as well. Every time I make an order, I just put all the products in a box to haul for you guys. I am wearing a couple of the products on my face today, so I can give you my initial first impression, but let me know down below which products you want me to feature in upcoming first impressions videos the most. I will link everything I talk about today down below in my description box, as well as the makeup I'm wearing, and I'm going to try to be better about linking my jewelry and my tops if possible. So definitely check down below if you're interested in anything that I am wearing. Before we jump into the haul, I'm super excited to partner with Built Bar to tell you that they have a brand new flavor that dropped today. So it's available now. I will link it down below. I have been eating these for the past month or so, but I haven't been able to talk about them. The new flavor is Grasshopper Cookie. If you love Thin Mint Girl Scout cookies, this will be your best friend. This tastes just like a Thin Mint cookie. Every time I have it, I'm like taken back to the Girl Scout cookies when you dust an entire box and then you feel guilty. This is essentially the same thing, but guilt-free. This is a limited release, meaning when it's gone, it's gone. So grab it if you're interested, because these typically fly off the shelves, and once they're sold out, they're sold out. Of course, the macros on Built Bars are incredible. This one is 150 calories, 17 grams of protein. You're getting high protein, low calorie, low sugar. This is such a treat without the guilt. I like to keep mine in the fridge because when I would eat Girl Scout cookies, especially Thin Mints, I would freeze them. So it kind of brings me back to that. And this is essentially a Thin Mint Girl Scout cookie candy bar with high protein. I will be buying a couple boxes myself. So I will leave a link to Built Bar down below, as well as my coupon code BabsBeauty10, which I will put on the screen as well. It will save you 10% on your order. You can use it anytime, as many times as you like. I know a lot of you are repeat customers, as am I, but I highly recommend this, especially if you like more of the decadent sort of dessert type flavors from Built. I think this is going to be a hit. It will sell out fast because it is a limited drop, and those always fly. So if you're interested, check it out down below. Thank you to Built for sponsoring this portion of the video, and let's get into my Sephora haul. So let's start out with some of the products I'm wearing today. The first one is the Pat McGrath Blush. Now I did haul, I want to say 3 of them that I got from her website, and I got it in a pack, and I did get a highlighter as well. But when I went into Sephora a couple weeks ago, I was on the hunt for this shade specifically. So this is the Skin Fetish Divine Blush in Electric Bloom. I am all about a bright cheek. We know this. So once I saw this, I was like, okay, I need it. When I was ordering on the Pat website, you couldn't do a custom bundle, and I thought they were going to sell out, so I just added like a neutral pink trio. I really was like, damn, I really wanted that Electric Bloom. So I went ahead and grabbed it, and when I was in store, it was the last one there. So I was so excited to get my hands on it. These are insanely pigmented. A little goes a long way. But I have to say, this shade is just perfect if you want that really punchy cheek. Now, of course, it sheers out. I mean, I'm wearing it right now, so I feel like I look like I have, obviously, blush on, but it's not clown-like, and you can really just go light-handed with it. I did one dip in, kind of swept it back and forth, and then dipped in again, but very, very lightly. This is not going to be a color that you're going to swirl your brush in multiple times, and it really just gives you that sort of just like sun-kissed look to it. I love blushes like this, and I feel like oftentimes we see more of the orange terracotta, but not so much the red. So I'm excited to have this in my collection. The other Pat blushes just didn't wow me that much. Not that I don't like them, but the colors are just like not wowing me, whereas this one really is, because it is unique to my collection and it stands out. But overall, I would say if you're going to pick up any of the Pat blushes, I would just pick up one and choose the color that suits you. So next I want to talk about what's on my lips, and I'm pleasantly surprised by this lipstick formula. I really didn't know how I would feel, but I did pick up 2 of the Melt Cosmetics Ultra Matte lipsticks. They released sort of a revamped version. I remember purchasing some of the older formula in the past, and they were so incredibly dry, almost like spreading clay on your lips, and I just did not like that. But I love the colors and packaging that Melt comes out with, so I thought I would give these a try. So I did pick up 2 really light shades. I picked up Hora and Zaddy, which those names are quite unique. So I'm wearing the shade Zaddy right now, which is a really light nude with a peachy undertone. And then I have to try still the Hora. I haven't even swatched this yet. And this is essentially the same sort of depth, but it is a pinky version, which I love pink lips. I have to say I love the packaging on these. It's very small, but it's sort of like a matte metal case, and it does have a magnetic closure. And then the actual bullet of the lipstick has really beautiful engraving on it of like Melt Cosmetics logo all over it. It's stunning. Just the attention to detail. I love the shades that I chose as well. But beyond the packaging and the colors, I actually am impressed with the formula. There is no weird line. It's not thick. It's definitely matte, but it doesn't tug super heavy. It's a very thin formula, nice and pigmented, and it really blended in beautifully with my lip liner. Again, it's not giving me that weird line, and I've had this on for a couple hours now. So I might pick up a few more of these. I love the colors, and I like the way this feels on my lips. It is not a dry down matte where I feel like it's going to crack, but it's also not moving, slipping, and sliding. I like how thin the formula is. It's not gunking up, so I'm really impressed with these so far. If you tried the old version and you hated them and you were kind of wondering about the newer release, I think you might enjoy them. Now let's talk about what's on my eyes. I did pick up the new palette from Artist Couture. This is the Supreme Bronze Eyeshadow Palette. He originally came out with the Supreme Nudes, which everybody loved. I didn't get that palette, but it had really great reviews. And this seems to be the sister palette. And because I'm so into bronze eyeshadow, I went ahead and grabbed this. My bulldog's coming in here now. I just had to go downstairs and get Winnie because she was throwing his bowl all around and clanking it around. So that's where we're at right now, okay? So in this palette, you get 12 shades, and I have to say I like how sleek the packaging is. Now, what I've noticed about these is they're very pigmented and they have a lot of depth. So they almost look deeper on the eye than in the pan. If you feel like a lot of the palettes on the market have 10 shades of beige, I feel like you would really like this because these are very deep and rich colors. So let me swatch a few of the mattes. Now in here you do get a mixture, which is quite interesting, of warm tones and cool tones. So you can see like this shade right here is Taupeless, which is a cool tone, but then you have more of a warm tone, and then you kind of have the neutral deep colors to really kind of amp up your look and give it more depth. And you have the same thing in terms of the metallics, so you have more of a cool tone, then you have the warm tone, the neutral, and then the really warm tone. So this is really interesting color story because you can take it yellow, orangey, sort of red, or you can take it more taupey, smoky eye. But so far I've had no problems with it. I feel like it blends easily, very pigmented. A good palette if you're looking for some depth and you feel like most palettes on the market have like 1 or 2 deep shades and you can't get to where you want to be. This is a really nice palette for those deep smoky looks, or maybe if you have a deeper skin tone. So I'm excited to keep playing around with it, but I really picked it up because so many people raved about the original Supreme Nudes, and this color story spoke to me a little bit more. I also did pick up a cream bronzer, and I did demo this in a previous trying new makeup video. If you missed it, I will link it down below. I had a lot of requests for this, and I really love the blushes from this brand. This is from Beauty, and this is the Sun Melt Natural Cream Bronzer in medium bronze. This is one of the easiest cream bronzers I've ever worked with. You get a lot of product in here. I think I heard Tara Lynn, who I watch here on YouTube, say that you get the same amount in this as the Chanel, but the packaging is not as big or bulky as the Chanel. Now this formula is interesting because when you look at it, it looks quite dry, almost clay-like, but when you rub your finger in there, it becomes really emollient, very pigmented, and what I like about this is it's not sticky or heavy on the skin. You can build it. It's not one of those that sticks down and you can't move it, but it's also not one that is lifting underneath. I had 0 lifting with this, and it's buildable. It's not overly pigmented where you can't have any control. You can really sort of build layers of it and it doesn't patch off. So I really enjoy this formula quite a lot. I'm not really a huge cream contour or bronzer fan, especially for like full glam, just because I have sort of like this science to my makeup makeup where I like to do it in a certain order, but this has to be one of the more effortless bronzers I've tried recently, even for someone like me who struggles with it. I had a really hard time with the Makeup by Mario contour stick, and I did not have any issues with this, and I've used it a few times since. So if you love a cream bronzer formula, but you want something that's not overly dewy or sticky, but also not going to stick down and move your foundation, I think you would really like this. I think this is a hit, and the Say Beauty brand has got my attention. So the last time I actually went into a Sephora store, I started chatting with one of the associates. He was such a doll, and we just talked about all the new products, and he was like, have you tried this? And I was like, have you tried this? We were sort of bouncing off each other. He was really sweet. So he actually recommended these, and I was like, you know what, let me try them. Once I saw them in store, they look so pretty. So these are the Color Fix from Danessa Myricks. Now I believe these can be used on the eyes, lips, cheeks. They're sort of like a multi-use product. Waterproof liquid pigment for eye, lips, and cheeks. And he recommended specifically this shade Latte. He said he does a lot of like brides, and he will use this on their cheeks. It's not typically a color that I would go for, but I thought I would try it because he really raved about these. And I know Danessa Myricks has beautiful products. So this looks really deep for me, but I wonder if you use just a tiny bit on the cheeks. It has a really thin texture, and even though it is a matte shade, it doesn't look like a flat matte. Now it'll probably dry down. And then I did pick up a shimmery version, and this is in the shade Ballerina, which just looks stunning, almost like it could just be a one and done eyeshadow. This looks more sheer, but it definitely has, ooh, beautiful glow to it. Definitely more sheer in terms of like there's no color backing to it. It's just very high shine metallic, but I'm intrigued to try these. He really raved heavily about specifically the matte formula. I know you can also use these on your eyes as well, so I almost wonder how this matte shade would blend out in the crease or on the lid. So I'll have to give them a try, and if you have tried these specifically like for your cheeks or your eyes, I want to know your feedback down below. Danessa Myricks just is so talented. Sometimes her products intimidate me a little bit just because I feel like they really are geared towards makeup artists, which I am not, but she just does such beautiful looks. Maybe I need to go on her Instagram and sort of see how she uses these specifically. So I will try them out. We will try them maybe in a trying new makeup to come and see how they work. So when I was in store, of course, I was going to the fragrance section. I typically don't go into store often, so when I do, I like to take advantage of it, really look at products that maybe I haven't seen in person to swatch them and also smell fragrances. So I was kind of going around, and I really liked a few fragrances, but the one that stood out to me was from Nest. Now I love Nest Wild Poppy, but this is their perfume oils, and one of the associates again was like telling me how great these were, so I was sort of smelling them, and these are great for like mixers. I picked up the Madagascar Vanilla. Lately I'm so into vanilla, very cozy scents, and this smelled incredible to me. They also had like little droppers as well. You could mix them. They had almost like a orange one too that smelled like creamsicle. Oh my God, this is like a really rich vanilla. I feel like this just melts into your skin. So I just looked this up, and they describe it as a warm and sweet gourmand, which is like my favorite as of lately. This has Madagascar vanilla bean, vanilla orchid, and coconut, and that's what I smell. I really smell the vanilla and the coconut. It's like beachy, but vanilla based, not like vanilla bourbon, because vanilla bourbon from Mix Bar that I've been raving about has that sort of bourbon apple spice. This has none of that. It just has that coconut vanilla. It smells incredible. This is quite strong too. I almost wish that they would come out with a actual spray though, because I know they had this and then like a bigger size dropper, which I will just put like on my wrist or behind my ears, but I do tend to prefer just like a spray. I remember really liking it in store, but I was sort of like in a, you know, perfume bubble where I'd smelled like 30 perfumes. This is intoxicating, and this is delicious. Woo! I love the coconut mixed in with it. So I might check out, one of the other ones was like orange or creamsicle or something like that I really liked as well. But lately I've been leaning more vanilla, and this hits the spot. So next I have a couple repurchases I want to move through quickly, and then we will move on to finish off with some hair products. So I did pick up a couple of the Tarte Clear Lash Adhesive. This is just my favorite go-to lash adhesive. I've gone through multiples, and the last one I had was really dried out. I mean, it had lasted forever. I like that it's clear, it's thin, it gets tacky pretty, you know, quickly, like 30 seconds to a minute. And I do prefer the lash adhesives that actually have a brush that I can brush on rather than the ones that just sort of squirt out of a tube. I find those hard to control and hard to apply to the lash. So this is just like my favorite lash glue. And my last one was so dried out that I went ahead and just grabbed two so I didn't run out again. I also picked up another Benefit brow pencil. I prefer the Precisely My Brow. It's just really small. I like how I can get hair-like strokes. I like that it's not too overly slippy and slidey or too emollient. I feel like I have control. I like the shade 3.5. I have gone through countless brow pencils from Benefit, and I'm getting low on my 3.5. They used to send me the shade 3, but I prefer 3.5. So I have a ton of the shade 3, but I really only reach for the 3.5 now. So I was getting low, so I picked up another one just because I use this every day. And then I also got a backup of my favorite foundation, which is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I just love mixing this with other foundations that I need a little bit more coverage, or just wearing it alone. It is so full coverage but lightweight. It lasts all day. I'm wearing it right now with one pump of Luminous Silk in there. So sometimes I'll do that where I will use mostly this, but then a little bit of like a tinted moisturizer or a really glowy, hydrating foundation to get the best of both worlds. But I just love this foundation for mixing alone, full glam. It's just something I use so much, and I'm almost out of my other one, so I had to repurchase. And to finish off this haul, I have some hair products. So I've been using my Dyson Airwrap recently. I purchased it myself. I believe I purchased it at the last sale at the end of 2020. I just bit the bullet because I have the hairdryer, which I really like, but I wanted the attachments to do the curls and the volume. So I've been using it recently, and you guys have been complimenting me so much, and I'm like, wow, okay. You guys seem to like it, and I'm liking it more than just like my curly, you know, like my wand curls that I was doing there for a minute. So I was scrolling the Sephora app as I normally do, and I saw that they had longer barrel attachments. This is what I use the most with the Airwrap. I use these, and then I also use the hairdryer just because I feel like it's just easy to use the same tool. But I got both sizes. So these are the 1.6-inch barrel, so you'll get more of like a loose big curl, and these are basically if you have longer hair and you want more barrel to get your hair to wrap around. And I thought that was such a good idea. They're 2 inches longer than the original barrels that it comes with, and then I also got the 1.2-inch size. So I got both of them just to see which one I like best. To be honest, they both do similar things for me because my hair is very fine, so even if it curls, once I brush through, it just gives me like a nice sort of blowout curl like I have today. But I thought these were genius because if you have longer hair, the original barrels are just not long enough, and sometimes I felt like the hair was just wrapping over itself and not getting enough of that even heat to get the curl. So these have been great. I've been loving the Airwrap. I know it's expensive, but it's something that I use every day. Like I said, I use the hairdryer attachment on it every single time I wash my hair. I will use these lately like around my bang area or just to give me more volume, and I think it's really just changed the game for my hair, but I know it's really expensive. So I will link these down below, and I'll also link the Dyson Airwrap if you're interested, but that's what I've been using lately on my hair. And then lastly, I picked up two products that I was hoping would help with my dry, itchy scalp. I cannot figure out what is causing it or how to stop it. I feel like I've tried so many shampoos and oils and treatments, and I'm at a loss. So I actually want to ask your opinion if you've had a dry, itchy scalp, or even just an area. Like, it's not my entire scalp, it's just right behind my ear on this side. It itches and it's dry and it's flaky, and I don't know what to do. I have tried so many things. So in my desperation, I ordered these two products. The first product I picked up is from Mizani, and this is the Calming Scalp Lotion. Now I have the conditioner from this brand, but again, it feels nice when I'm in the shower, but I don't notice that it's like taking care of the itch. It's still itching and still dry. Now I haven't used this, but it just says apply directly to dry areas on the scalp. Do not rinse. So the thing that sucks about products like this is when I'm filming, I really can't just be like soaking my head with products like this every day because then I can't style my hair. So I have to sort of strategically use these, like wear them overnight when I'm washing my hair the next day, or, you know, when I know I'm not going to be filming, just sort of pack it on my scalp. So if you've tried this, let me know your thoughts. It has really good reviews and I like the conditioner, but it's one of those things that I'm like, is this just putting a band-aid on it, meaning that it feels good in the moment and it sort of soothes the scalp, but then later on it's still itching kind of thing. The second thing I got is the Briogeo Scalp Revival Charcoal and Tea Tree Cooling Hydration and Scalp Mask. So this I'd heard great things about as well, and I think this is more of an exfoliant. Apply to the scalp and massage and leave for 10 minutes. So again, because it has that tea tree and that cooling, is it going to feel good in the moment and then still itch and be dry later? So I actually got so desperate that I ordered a like homemade sort of scalp care kit on Etsy because I'm like at a loss. I don't know what to do and it just won't stop, and it's just the same area. Nowhere else, just the same area. And I know I should go to a dermatologist, but I don't know. I'm just trying to avoid trying to find a new doctor to look at this. So if you have any recommendations, like I'm open to anything, let me know down below. Okay guys, so that's everything for this Sephora haul. It wasn't a massive haul, but we did have a good mix of like repurchases, new makeup, hair care, some perfume. So I will link everything down below. If you're interested in checking out Built Bar, I highly recommend them. I will have them at the top of my description box with my code. Please subscribe if you're new. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.